And now it's time for Windy City Sports Talk. And your host, Ryan Young. Hello, Chicago! Welcome to this live Tuesday, November the 15th edition of Windy City Sports Talk. I am Ryan Young. For the next half hour, we're going to preview everything going on in the world of Chicago sports. If you want to follow me on social media, on Twitter, it's at ringside_rep. No Chicago sports last night to recap, so all we got is previewing to do. Of course, some of the big stories that came out of yesterday was the debacle with Alshon Jeffrey. And we said we're sure that eventually there would come out a statement. And yesterday there was a statement that came out for Alshon Jeffrey. And this is what he put on Twitter. As a professional athlete, I have been careful about what I put in my body. I took a recommended supplement to combat inflammation. Unfortunately, this supplement contained an ingredient that was on the NFL's banned substance list. I take full responsibility, and I'm deeply upset with myself for not doing the proper research on the supplement. I want to apologize to my family, the Bears organization, my teammates, and Bears fans. I will work hard to earn back the respect and trust of the Bears Nation and look forward to being back on the field. Okay, that's all good and dandy, and he said everything you're supposed to, and I mean, everyone keeps saying it's 100% agree. Everything that you don't know, and he said, he's careful with what he puts in his body. If you're careful about what you put in your body, shouldn't you check with a team doctor or physician or whatever and be like, yo, can you see if anything on here is on the banned substance list? And I don't understand if you're that. Your body is what makes you millions of dollars a year. And he's losing about $3 million from the suspension because it's without pay. So really, I think that's something you have to look into, and you really got to treat your body with respect. And I heard about on other shows, that's like for someone like me or someone that actually gets paid to announce that you drink something bad and you lose your voice. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, you need to, whatever makes you money, or a lot of it, in his case, you got to be very careful about what you're doing. And obviously he wasn't, and he's paying the price for it. He's off for 4 games. And, I mean, it doesn't really affect the Bears. I mean, if you're looking at trying to get a good draft pick after being 2-7 right now, it actually helps you. And so, I mean, the Bears, I mean, this week they're in New York against the Giants and all that stuff. But, I mean, right now you have 2 losses. You're not going to get number 1 overall because it seems like that's already reserved to the Cleveland Browns. But at least try to get into the top 5 because I think that's where you're at right now. This team has no chance of being successful. So put that on the back burner. I'm not saying blow games, but now that each time they lose, it's okay. I mean, this season, there's nothing that's going to come out of this season. So you might as well just go for broke and try to, I mean, Jay Cutler, odds are this will be his last year, so you get only a couple of more, 9, 8, 7 more weeks to look at him. And then hopefully you get a nice draft pick. And can get one of the quarterbacks coming out of the draft. And be actually excited about a football season, because I know Bears haven't drafted a quarterback in years. So why not try this year and hopefully then finally get and then be able to be excited about the future of this Bears team? Because right now they're in that middle, like how the White Sox are, where you don't know whether they're coming or whether they're going or what's going on. So to prove that this team is in the success to getting in a rebuild, I think that's exactly what they need to do is after this year, get rid of Cutler and then focus and get younger. Because if you get younger, this team has such full potential. Jordan Howard's been tremendous as a running back. Build off of that. Alshon Jeffrey's going to be good. Hopefully you see what's up with Kevin White and you have somewhat of an offensive core. Kyle Long's now out for the season, but hopefully he can be back on that offensive line next year. So, I mean, there's potential for this team, and you get a young quarterback in there. I mean, you're still looking at 2 to 3 years, at least 1-2 years of not being a success story, but at least trying to know that, hey, we know we're going in the right direction. Just like how Cub fans handled with the whole rebuild. It's going in the right way. There's really nothing else we can ask for. and in 5 years they become World Series champions. So to try to get the Bears back to that opportunity, and guess what? If they can start this rebuild within the next couple of years, they can get good when everyone in that NFC North is not going to be. Because I think by the time the Bears, if they do the whole rebuild and they have a new quarterback and they do all that stuff, by that time, Aaron Rodgers might have one foot out the door getting ready to retire. And then you look at, and I mean, even Matt Stafford is going to be getting older and hard and be not Matt Stafford. So if the Bears go with the complete rebuild, by the time they're there, they could be the team to finally take over the NFC North, and I don't know what to think about the Vikings because you never really know what they're doing. But so you think you go with this rebuild, you figure out this year, and get a couple draft picks, and go within the draft the next couple of years, and really do your thing. I think that's the way to go for this Bears team, and hopefully that's the case because you'd like to see the rebuild, and I think it's going to happen at a perfect time because Aaron Rodgers will not probably be Aaron Rodgers within the next 3 to 4 years. So we shall see. But again, that's the story out of Alshon Jeffrey. I knew he was going to make a statement. I said it yesterday, but it happened after we did the show. So it is what it is. So a good overall. So that's that. Other news coming out of last night. I didn't want to break into the MLB awards right now. Oh yeah, Chris Sale. Apparently, because the GM meetings are going to be starting within the next couple of weeks. I believe I don't think it's the week after Thanksgiving. I believe it's the following week. December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. December 5th would be the winter meetings. And I believe they're in, Maryland this year, which they've usually been in Nashville. But anywho, you get the opportunity for that. And I think now a lot of teams are looking at Chris Sale. It's a lot of National League teams. You got the Dodgers looking at him. I believe the Nationals, the Braves, I think, are big. The Braves are a big key team. They are going after pitching. They're kind of doing it with less funds. They might have more funds now because of the championship or because of the new stadium that they're opening. But they're going after pitching. I mean, they've gone after some older guys. They've gone after R.A. Dickey, and they got Bartolo Colon. But if you can add Chris Sale in that mix, plus Julio Teheran, and I'm sure they got someone else, this team, the pitching staff's going to be somewhat obtainable, where the offense isn't going to have to be forced to score 6-7 runs to win a game. Now, this team is not going to be playoff worthy in 2016. I'm talking about the Atlanta Braves. But still, to add Chris Sale to that, but on the other side of thing, for the Braves to have to get Chris Sale, they're going to have to trade some key quality guys. So that's going to be big, and I mean, that is going to be the tail. And I mean, that winter meetings week is going to be big because having him out there, and that's going to be the main topic. Because I think once the Chris Sale chip falls, you're going to see a lot of chips fall. But if he goes to the Braves, you're going to get a lot of nice pieces. There's a lot of young, good talent in Atlanta that they'd have to give up some of it if they want to bring Chris Sale to the Braves. So I think it shall be entertaining to see how that happens. There's a lot of good teams, and it's all NL teams. Because I'm sure they don't want to have to deal with Chris Sale in the regular season, unless it's an interleague play. But they don't want to have to deal with any of them guys off the bat when they're doing when they're playing. So I think that's smart. But I mean, the Cubs, they'd probably have to, if they go to like the Dodgers, they might have to go through Chris Sale. Like if they had Chris Sale in this last series, would the Cubs have got through the Dodgers? So. I mean, a lot of teams, that's what they look at. And, of course, they might be losing Kenley Jansen, the Dodgers, and he may be coming to the Cubs. So a lot of interesting things to look at as we get closer to the winter meetings. Like I said, that I believe is 2 weeks from Monday. So that's always exciting to see. And that's last year where the Cubs signed, I believe, Lackey and Hayward and Zobrist, and really solidified their team. Also, Dexter Fowler rejected the $17.2 million option, and you figured he would. He wants a deal. He wants to make some money, and it's probably last opportunity to get money in a contract. So I think that's probably, you figured that's what he was going to do, and that's what he did. So, I mean, a lot of people, and they were just talking on it yesterday on MLB Network, that there was a chance that he would be a chance he could be playing for the rivaled Cardinals. And I said, I figured there would be an opportunity for him to be a St. Louis Cardinal. And I think that's where he's going to end up, or even a Chicago White Sox. So don't be surprised if he's on one of the Cubs' rivals going into 2017, because both of them teams I mentioned need a center fielder. And Dexter Fowler brings a lot to the table. He has that pop, and he's also very, very good. A couple of years ago, he struggled a little bit, mainly because he was playing more shallow. Then this past year, he's playing more deep, and no balls rarely went over his head unless they were going over the wall. So I think they've done a tremendous job with how he's been able to do that. He's a great fielder. He can hit, and he's a guy that can really start things off. Look what he did in Game 7 of the World Series. Gave the Cubs a 1-0 lead early. So, I mean, you really can't complain, and I think that's you got to be excited for that. So, we wish the best to Dexter Fowler. Chapman, wanting 5 years, $100 million. Going to be very tough for a reliever. He pitches like he probably deserves it, but is anyone going to give it to him? And I don't think so. I mean, from what I've heard, it don't look like that. So, I mean, he's going to have to probably go down on his offer a little bit, but you never know what can happen. I mean, he's a very talented guy. Neil Walker accepted his option, or his qualifying offer, and he rejoined the Mets. So he'll be there at second base. Jeremy Hellickson, who was expected to be one of the top free agent pitchers, accepted his qualifying offer with the Philadelphia Phillies. So, I mean, rarely you ever see, I think last year was like the first time in a long time you saw players start to accept qualifying offers. Because their qualifying offers, I think, go up almost every year. Because baseball just keeps bringing in money, and they just keep shoveling it out. So I think right there, interesting. And, I mean, I think that's all the baseball news from the free agent front. But you also have the awards week. And, of course, we'll... tonight's MLB Manager of the Year award, but last night was the Rookie of the Year award. And a lot of people thought, well, and I thought, because I was the only one I knew, Gary Sanchez, I thought was going to win it, but he was only in the major leagues for a couple of months. And then it was Michael Fulmer, the pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, who don't follow the Tigers that much, so I didn't really know anything about him, but he won the Rookie of the Year for the American League. And then for the National League, it was Corey Seager, who's also going to be going up against Chris Bryant for the MVP. So I think in a second straight year unanimous vote for Rookie of the Year. Last year was Chris Bryant, and so I think very good job by Corey Seager. He was able to get some, and he was kind of a Cub killer in the National League Championship Series. So that's the only time I really got a chance to fully look at him. And he obviously did a tremendous job. He hit the ball very well. Such a very good defender as well. So I think he very well deserved it. So congratulations to Corey Seager. And again, Michael Fulmer almost doing a full year now in the offseason, because he's making that rookie salary, which for a baseball player is not a lot. It's under $1 million. But in normal people money, you take it. And but he's a plumber in the offseason, which I'm sure, give it 4 or 5 years down the road, could probably let that go. Because I'm sure with a Rookie of the Year, you get some money also, but his first real contract, whether it's with the Tigers or somebody else, I'm sure they'll be just peachy, wanting him to pitch, and then he'll be like, you know what, I make enough money. Off season is exactly what it's for. It's for you to be off, to relax, and of course, usually players off and get to enjoy themselves for a couple of months, and then probably start working out again and training after the Christmas, and before you know it, after Christmas, a month later, you're already getting ready for spring training. That's how quick it goes. And I mean, that's the one thing. That's why it's so hard for a baseball team to go back to back. That's why good thing the Cubs did it, because even for the Indians, it's going to be very tough to try to repeat to get back there, because you have the shortest time off. You get a month more of baseball, and obviously for the Cubs, yeah, it's great. But you still, when you're wanting to try to get back there, look at the layoff, and look what happened to the Carolina Panthers in football. They, this past week they had a tough loss. They were starting to get some wins out of them, but they were a struggling start also. So they really were like, whoa. And maybe it was the Super Bowl hangover. And we'll see if there's a World Series hangover. I mean, the Cubs had a tremendous start to the season. They kind of solidified themselves. They had a little blip right at the All-Star break. And then all of a sudden they kind of bounced back and got it back going. In the towards the end of the season, or obviously after the All-Star break, and kind of went for it. So So congratulations to Corey Seager, the National League Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to Michael Fulmer, the AL Rookie of the Year. Now tonight is Manager of the Year. Now who is going to get the Manager of the Year? I'm going to find out the participants. I know Joe Maddon's up for National League, but what? I mean, he got it last year for getting the team to the National League Championship Series. But the team won the World Series. But I think, do they give the Manager of the Year, do they do them votes before the playoffs start? Let's see here. Yahoo Sports did a sizing up the finalists. Let's see here. In the American League, it's Jeff Bannister, Walter. My pick there is going to be Terry Francona. I mean, the way the Indians have been a struggling team, they haven't been dominant in many ways, but what he's been able to do with that team and get them back in, I mean, they won 14 in a row. If you're just talking regular season, won 14 in a row, did a tremendous job with this team, and even in the playoffs, they were one win away from winning the World Series. So definitely I think he's going to win it. Jeff Bannister, I think the Rangers once again are that team that always get close and can't make it, and same with the Baltimore Orioles are like the Pittsburgh Pirates of the American League, just not very good. Just poof. And then the National League, it's not on here. Let's see here. National League is Dusty Baker of the Nationals, Joe Maddon of the Cubs, and Dave Roberts. I don't think it'll be Dusty. Dusty Baker, a very good manager, but that team was expected to win. So were the Cubs. So, for part of me thinks they're not going to give it to Joe Maddon. He got it last year. Because if this is a regular season voted award, I think Dave Roberts gets it. So my pick, and I hope Joe Maddon wins it, because, you like to see the Cubs run the table and everything. So my picks are Dave Roberts of the Dodgers and Terry Francona of the Indians. But good best of luck to Joe Maddon, who tries to win a second consecutive Manager of the Year, and he has an opportunity to, and I wish him the best. Hopefully he does. And then I don't really think he can be Manager of the Year again unless they repeat, but I think Terry Francona's got it. I think he's done a tremendous job, like I said, in 1 year. So being able to get that team to the playoffs, and of course he was really undefeated in the playoffs until the Cubs were able to make it 1-1, or undefeated in the World Series, and then the Cubs were able to bounce back and then down 3-1. They're able to win it. And, people are just so enamored and excited about how the Cubs won the World Series that people still continue to forget the fact that they came back from 3-1. And my sister asked me on Sunday when she was here for the Bear game, did you think they were going to come back 3-1? And in the moment, you don't feel like it's 3-1. You got to take it a game at a time. But I felt after Sunday's game, I felt very confident that this series was going to go 7. The Cubs had their 3 best pitchers lined up, and if things could start falling their way and they could start hitting the baseball, I think then they'd have the opportunity to be able to do it. So, yeah, and I'm still enjoying it. And again, I did all my Christmas shopping. Things are finally starting to get shipped because I'm sure MLB.com has gotten boatloads. I got 2 more. I got 1 thing in the mail today, and then I got 2 things on the way, and I got 2 things still waiting. And I got a special Christmas sweater that I ordered yesterday that I'll be wearing on commentary on December 18th, and it'll be on the Ringside Report on December 19th. It will be interesting. And I'm looking forward to hoping it turns out. Okay, folks, we got some preview to do. The circus trips will begin. The last time we'll have to really talk about a circus trip. We'll talk about that and then we'll also have because the Blackhawks are in Winnipeg, the Bulls are in Portland. But first, we got the Windy City Sports Minute. This is your Windy City Sports Minute for Tuesday, November the 15th. Well, neither Bulls or Blackhawks were in action last night. Both teams begin their circus road trips tonight. Blackhawks will drop the puck in Winnipeg against the Jets tonight at 7 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet. The Bulls will be in Portland to battle with the Blazers at 9 p.m. on WGN. or on NBA TV. Last night, the MLB Rookies of the Year were announced. Michael Fulmer, the pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, gets the AL Rookie of the Year. And then Corey Seager gets it for the Dodgers in the National League. Also, it was announced today, this year will be the final year of the circus road trip for the Bulls and Blackhawks, as they will end their contract with Barnum and Bailey in the circus. That is your Windy City Sports Minute. Now back to Windy City Sports Talk. Welcome back here to Windy City Sports Talk for this Tuesday. We're going to be live most of the week. I'm going to try to... I think Friday's show I'm going to have to pre-record. But we will not have the recap of the Bulls-Jazz game on there. We'll preview the weekend because Fridays it's harder to do when Papa Sean's not on. And I talked to him. I'm going to try to get him on. He's off all Thanksgiving week. We'll have Monday through Wednesday next week. Getting you ready for Thanksgiving. So I think we're going to... I'm going to try... I asked him to do Tuesday, Wednesday because I got Scott Beatty coming on Monday. So we'll see how that goes. But that's next week. So the rest of this, today through Thursday, will be live, and probably Friday will be pre-recorded. Okay, before we preview, as you heard on the Windy City Sports Minute, this will be the last year of the circus trip, because apparently they're ending, after 2017, they're ending, or maybe it's 2016, but 2017 they want to end the thing with Barnum and Bailey and the circus. So that 2-week long trip that always goes through Thanksgiving, always a problem and always a long stint, and it's never, and I even said in the article, it's really never been a really great thing for for either the Blackhawks or the Bulls. So now after this year, I believe it will be done, and also the Disney on Ice that comes in February, which is also usually a 2-week road trip for the Bulls and Blackhawks, might also be ending, or also be going from 2 weeks to 1 week. So I think that's very big, and that'll also, I'm sure that costs United Center money, but since I believe Jerry Reinsdorf and the Blackhawk owner, can't think of his name right now, they own the Hawks, or they own part of the United Center, so they kind of plan on what's going on there. So that's big, and hopefully, and that'll help, because instead of having to have 10 home games at one time in a bulk because you have to spend 2 weeks on the road, I think it's very big. So hopefully that's good for... It's good that this will hopefully be the last time. I've never been a real big fan of it because it sucks for them because they're always on the road for Thanksgiving. But like that, after Friday, the Bulls are off till Wednesday, or next week. After Friday and next week, they're off so they get at least a little time off to be in. I believe I forgot. I looked at the Blackhawks. They don't have that much of a time off. But anyway, let's preview tonight's action. Tonight, the Blackhawks will drop the puck to start their start of the circus road trip in Winnipeg against the Jets. That'll be a 7 p.m. start on Comcast Sportsnet. Hawks trying to continue their point streak. Of course, they have 8 games? 8 games in a row with a point. So I think that's big. Try to keep it going. Of course, familiar face on that team, Dustin Byfuglien. Let's see, who's the leader in goals? Scheifele for Winnipeg. He has 10 goals and 10 assists, so he has 20 points. Lane has 11 goals for Winnipeg. Big Buff, he has 8 assists. It'll be good to see him back. Hutchison is their goalie, 2 and 3, and they also have Hellebuyck, 11 games, 6 and 4. And of course, for the Hawks, they try to keep their thing. They're going. Corey Crawford 8 and 3. Scott Darling is at 3 and 0. And Nisimov is the. Let's see. Marian Hossa has 9 goals. No one has 10. So Hossa has. And me and Papa Sean talked about it on here one of the last days. Grandpa Hossey. Good for him, as he was able to get that game-tying goal on Sunday. So now he gets the opportunity to try to do it, of course, on this long trip. So I think this should be a good matchup. I'm not sure what the record. 8-7-2 for Winnipeg. And the Hawks are 11-3-2. That game can be seen, like I said, on Comcast Sportsnet Chicago and Toronto Sportsnet 3. Which is like TSN for in Canada. It's like ESPN here in the States. So I think it should. Hopefully, I think it should be a good game for the Hawks. They want to, again. You always want to start off the circus trip on a positive note. I believe they don't play again until Friday after this, so at least they get a couple of days off. But let's see here. I have their schedule all over the place. They have then Calgary on Friday, Saturday Vancouver, and then Monday Edmonton. So they're off Saturday or Sunday, which is good. And then the Bulls will be in Los Angeles because I'm trying to figure that out because, like I said, I got a pay-per-view to cover. Sunday is my show watching day. But, yeah, the Bulls play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And the Hawks play Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. And then Monday, Wednesday. So yeah, that's a fairly. I think it should be a good one for the Hawks. I mean, if you want to be able to start off this on a positive note on this road trip, I mean, they've already faced Calgary twice at home, and they'll be facing them again Friday. This time in Calgary, and of course, I always think of the rivalries back in the day with Jerome McGinley. I know he's not on there on the Flames anymore, but I believe they also had a pretty good. I want to say it was during their first run with the Cup around there. When they had a couple playoff series with Calgary. I wish Nick was listening, because I wish he could chime in there. I thought they had a good playoff series with Calgary, but I don't remember. So you got the Hawks and Jets tonight, 7 p.m. And the Bulls start their circus trip. They'll be in Portland to battle with the Blazers. That's a 9 o'clock start tonight on WGN. Also, for me, it'll be on NBA TV. So I think it's going to be a good one. I mean, of course, I'm always intrigued to see the nice guard matchups. I was always excited to see who Derrick Rose was matching up against, but now it's going to be Rajon Rondo having to go up against Damian Lillard. I think that should be a good matchup, and of course Dwayne Wade, see how he can do. The Bulls have had a couple of days off since their last game on Saturday, so that gives them just a little bit of time now to relax and hopefully get back into it. And then I'm not sure who else Portland has to. Trying to get back into the groove of now my winter sports, but I know they have Damian Lillard. I'm not sure exactly. We only have 2 minutes left. See if I can figure out who else they have. But hopefully, I mean, I think the Bulls have a chance if it's with Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade being lights out scoring guys. I think if the Bulls are on the advantage, Toronto and Cleveland play each other tonight. If they have an advantage. With the big guys, I think they're going to have an opportunity to win all them games because with the shooters, excuse me, because let's see here, try to get a preview. McCollum, so it'll be Butler and McCollum facing each other. Last 5 games, they're 4-1 are the Blazers. Bulls are 3-2. 6-4 overall are the Bulls. 7-4 are the Blazers. So McCollum and Butler are going to be a good matchup, and same with the matchup between Damian Lillard and Rajon Rondo. And that's tonight at 9 o'clock on WGN. Preview for tomorrow, we are going to recap Blackhawks, Jets, Bulls, Blazers. I'll try to watch Blackhawks, Jets tonight. I got SmackDown 900 to watch tonight. I'm excited for that, if you're a wrestling fan. And then, of course, we'll talk about Manager of the Year. Neither team in action tomorrow. So, but we are still going to do a live show because these are West Coast games, so have to abide. Okay, folks, so everyone, we still have, 30 seconds left, so I hope everyone has a good day, and hopefully both Bulls and Blackhawks can get back keep their winning ways going. Bulls have won 2 in a row. Blackhawks try to continue their point streak. And we'll see if all that will continue. And again, we'll be back live tomorrow at 3, recapping everything, talking everything, and I'm sure I'll be babbling in the process. I'm Ryan Young saying, everyone, enjoy the weather because it's going to get cold starting this weekend. And have a great day, Chicago.